Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Definitely not the junior in humor, that's for sure. If you've got
In Humor heißt Bestatter. Heißt nicht Mortician auch Bestatter? Keine Ahnung. Ich nutze das in meinem täglichen Sprachgebrauch eher sehr selten.
Smuggler? Freelancer? Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad.
Okay. Alles klar. Nee, ich will dich nichts mehr fragen, Mann. Ich will endlich mal was machen. Wenn es bloß Leute in die Fresse schlagen. Edgewater. Employ and Community. Ja, na, Community ist wichtig. Deswegen abonnieren nicht vergessen, ne? Oh mein Gott. Meine Fresse war gerade gefreezed. Auf jeden Fall der Heck. Ah, jetzt geht's wieder. Okay. Ja, abonnieren nicht vergessen. Wenn es euch gefällt.
Spacer's Choice takes care of its own. Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Aha. Sehe ich. Ist aber eine tolle Stadt. Der Reinigungsdienst hat versagt auf ganzer Linie.
And your rations yet?
Yep. 2 whole cans of Saltuna.
Hä? Du hast eine Ration bekommen, 2 ganze Dosen Saltuna? Wenn du bist ja der Man.
Spacer's Choice takes care of its own.
Die sagen alle nur das Gleiche.
Read the latest report.
I don't know you. Amelia Kim, Spacer's Choice beverage dispenser. I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice drinking establishment. We're all loyal, hard-working company folk here. I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. Loyalty issues, lines in the sand. I know where folk in Edgewater stand. But you, I don't know you. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it within the premises. Can't have you taking drinks over to those deserters. Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folks decided they were tired of working and went out into the wilds to fend for their own selves. Town's already struggling to make quotas, even without that band of slackwits abandoning their posts. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rung leeches. Anyway, enough about them. What can I do for you? Coming right up.
Okay. Wow, ich kriege 1% Rabatt. Juhu. Davon kaufe ich mir ein Haus. Ich hat nichts, was mich interessiert. Danke. Danke, danke.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
We should keep our voices down.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon's leading brand in frontier justice. The office is setting up promotion. Purchase 3 criminal investigations and the 4th one's free.
Okay.
As a Spacer's Choice constable, I am authorized to grant you legal authority toward apprehending wanted criminals. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? I've got bounties out for these 3 marauders. Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just 1 per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller.
Alles klar.
Wish we had some better rations.
I know how you feel.
Ist nicht schön, dass hier niemand seine Tür abschließt? Kann mit meiner Knarre rein, wann ich will. Ich kann Sachen klauen, die nicht mal geklaut sind. Dann. Oh, läuft bei mir. Ich klaue ja auch nie was. Ich leiste mir nur auf unbestimmte Zeit aus. Was ist das denn? Ah, fuck. Ich kann es nicht öffnen. Diese Klos machen mich fertig. Sehe ich einfach so groß aus, oder passt da niemals jemand mit seinem Arsch rein? Nichts mehr raus.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard marauders got in.
Just between us?
Deswegen ist Spreads rum. Also. Produzieren die hier nicht diesen Salthuhn? Maschinenraum. Spritz. Kann ich ihn einfach rausnehmen? Wahrscheinlich nicht, wahrscheinlich ballern die dann alle gleich auf mich. Ich kann mich nicht allein gegen so eine ganze Stadt wehren. Oh, Scheiße, ich hab ihn geklaut. Okay. Ich kann klauen, was ich will. Ich hab's mir geliehen. Komm ich denn da nicht rein? Jo. Und das so, Verkaufsautomat. Ich beklaue keine rechtschaffenen Bürger. Nur die Reichen. Gib's den Namen. Fucking Robin Hood. Saltuna. Hier wird ein lecker Schmecker Thunfisch zubereitet. Oder auch nicht. Oder es werden einfach nur Spreads klein gehäckselt. Hi. Solltest du mich melden, bist du sehen, den Kopf schießen?
You the new worker?
Der Steuereintreiber.
Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
Tenderfoot?
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you.
Oh Leute, ich bin mir noch so müde von gestern. Ich hab gestern noch die Aufnahmen verkackt bis um 2 Uhr nachts.
Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fines. Suicide's a crime.
Ich will nie bei einer Schießerei dabei überleben, ohne Scheiß.
What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
Ach, Konzerneigentum. Ja, das erinnert mich an Deutschland. Das darf ich gar nicht sagen. Ich werde das wegpiepen.
When one of your workers commits a crime, the entire town pays for it. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice.
Okay, das ist mir eigentlich zu doof.
All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Alles klar. Da bin ich falsch. Bin schon wieder falsch. Ach. Ja.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
It puts food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Richtig, habe ich auch schon gesehen.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Shirt, pants, work boots, company-approved colors. The, honorable apparel of a loyal worker? Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production quota in years. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented, and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Nö, die nehme ich sehr gerne mit. Ich mag die irgendwie.
Diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Ist richtig. Lass uns losmachen, wer sagt denn sowas?
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk.
Okay. Sind wir zwar, aber egal.
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listened to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. It don't seem right to me, mister. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Ja, okay. Jetzt haben wir ewig lange Dialoge hinter uns. Müssen wir mal ein paar Takte erzählt haben. Ich habe auf den falschen Knopf gedrückt. Ist egal. Eine Handvoll taugen nichts. Ah, okay, das ist das bis ins Grab. Ich mache erstmal die schnell fertig. Ich gehe erstmal raus zu dem. Fuck. Falsch gelatscht. Das ist immer interessant. Da sind wir, wo ich hin will.
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling. The war. The coming apocalypse. Man versus machine.
Okay.
I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
Ich hab wirklich keine Ahnung, von was er redet. Ich habe noch keine Roboter angegriffen.
All right. Listen real close. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about. Firing at the birds. Orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans, mostly. Some Spacer's chaw. Few bit carts. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees. Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Nö, ich habe einen Mechaniker dabei. Parvati macht das bestimmt. Wo ist die? Ah, da ist sie. Okay, Terror. Nächster Bereich. Ach, das sind diese. Viecher hier. Greift mich an. Ich meine ja immer, solange mich was nicht angreift, dann brauche ich sie auch nicht töten. Ach, dazu will ich Munition sparen.
Aw, he ain't no threat. Bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me
to. No? Ja, komm.
Yep, I see the problem. His navmod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the by.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
On account of I fixed him. And he's Jeremy on account of his helmet. It's like Jeremy, the officer in True Romantic Tales of the Space Guard. Hebs to Shirley. I make a point to watch every Tuesday night. Be more careful out there, Jeremy.
Okay. Also hast du nicht einen Stufenauftritt. Aufstieg. Beschert. Alter. Mehr gestottert hätte ich gar nichts rausgebracht. So.
Here we go. Nice one. Don't mess with us.
Ja. Jetzt müssen wir nach den langen Dialogen die Sprache verschlagen. Jetzt mal gucken, was hier alles so. Warum ist hier alles verschlossen eigentlich? Ah. Ach, hier liegt das Geld auf dem Boden. Ja, so kriminell war ja die Handlung gar nicht. Hab ja überhaupt nichts. Ah, okay, ich habe die Fähigkeit nicht. Ich kann ja nichts verkaufen. Okay. Swoosh. Gleich freeze mein Face wieder. Bin mal gespannt. Was der Tag hier so bringt. Okay.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing.
Yes, Mr. Thompson. Whoa, did Mr. Thompson send you? Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not plagued. As spry as a spring chicken. That's old Abernathy.
Das sieht nicht gut aus, der Junge. Sieht ganz und gar nicht gut aus. Okay. Ich dachte gerade, meine Aufnahme ist hängen geblieben. War ich jetzt so gehalten.
You some sort of wandering alienist? Walking into a man's own domicile, pestering him about his mental state? You don't know that. I could have been saying anything. Maybe I said vague. You know how words sound a mite strange when you're sick. Wait, no. Oh, damn it. Okay, listen. Maybe I am feeling a little under the weather, but I swear I'm on the mend. Please, don't tell the constable. And become the town pariah? I'm already the oldest worker in town. I don't need to give him another reason to avoid me. Hey, you're hale and healthy and possibly for hire, ain't ya? Do a good turn for an expiring old man?
Oh.
There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful
Und
stuff.
es klingelt mal wieder bei mir. Ich bin gleich wieder da.
Nab that medicine and bring it back to me.
So Leute, ich bin wieder da. Ja, mein Lieblingspostbote war gerade da. Das ist ein richtig cooler Typ. Den supporte ich. Mag nicht jeden. Mir gleich noch ein kleines Getränk. Was ist mir das? Getränk geholt. Das ist eine kleine Dose. Meist gibt es bloß ein groß. Das ist eine Testdose. Das ist hier beinahe umgelettert. Wow. Okay. Anyway. Wo war ich? Du musst für mich dort einbrechen, dir die medizinischen und sie mir bringen. Wo? Das werde ich wahrscheinlich rausfinden, wenn ich das Video schneide. Dann sehe ich nämlich, was die Frage war dazu. Aber mach ich.
Oh, Law, it's in my spleen now. I can feel it.
Okay.
Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Look, I got my gravesite fees right here. See? I'm good for my word. Get me that medicine, and I'll see to your payment.
Ja, finde ich ja klasse. Supporte ich, wenn jemand sein Wort hält. Up to the barbershop.
Oh, I cut my own hair. But Conrad sells real good disinfectant.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Ja.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions.
Das ist leider AF.
High crust friend, bitless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch.
Der ist so broke, dass er sich nicht mehr die Blondierung für die Haare leisten kann. Deswegen kommen die grauen Strähnen raus.
Edgewater is built on the discipline and sacrifice of its people. Say what you will about our town, but we all pull together. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Not a bad idea, but I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers. No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. Much obliged.
Keine Wissenschaftler. Hirn. Brief von Phyllis. Oh, Conrad. Rezeptionist hat sich erschossen. Das ist schlecht. Die Firma muss das so sehen, wie es ist. Zerstörung von Spacer's Choice Firmeneigentum. Eugene war ein Aktivposten und irgendwer muss seine Leichengebühr zahlen. Das würde uns ruinieren. Also dachte ich, wir verkaufen seine Zähne. Eugene hat einen kompletten Satz Goldzähne. Familienerbstücke oder so. Du kümmerst dich um den Leichnam oder... Wow. Ja, Satzzeichen gar nicht sehr gut. Du kümmerst dich um den Leichnam, oder? Nimm dir etwas Zeit und hol sie da raus. Wir verhögern die Zähne still und heimlich, zahlen mit den Bits die Leichengebühr und niemand muss das erfahren. Was sagst du dazu? Schreib nicht zurück, rede am besten gar nicht mit mir. Gib mir einfach ein geheimes Zeichen, wenn du mich das nächste Mal siehst. Warte mit den Augenbrauen. Hab ich einen geheimen Dab gemacht. Also. Auf zu freezen. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, dann lasst mir doch ein Like da und vergesst nicht meinen Kanal zu abonnieren und die Glocke zu aktivieren, damit ihr keine Videos mehr verpasst. Dann sehen wir uns schon bald wieder. Ciao.